Hello everyone, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. This video is very serious. I am going to take the Declaration of Independence and I'm going to show you where our current government matches perfectly the English king in 1776 when we wrote this, when our country, when our forefathers wrote this document. I'm going to show you why they wrote it. They write their grievances in here in case you didn't know. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurping direct object, the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. Number one, this reminds me of Maui. I'm not reading them in order. I've highlighted the ones I think fit us right now. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. Remember Maui? How they were having meetings on the big island about the fire rather than actually having it on Maui where people could attend? Sound familiar? Let's keep going. Illegals, illegal aliens. He has refused for a long time after such desolations to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers incapable of annihilation have returned to the people at large for their exercise. The state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. Not done. Again, about the illegals. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy of a head of a civilized nation, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states. He is affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. I just brought to you guys that they're trying to get rid of militias. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coast, burnt our towns, destroyed the lives of our people. Let's keep going. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their office and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices. Sound familiar with 87,000 new IRS agents? Just saying. And sent them hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislators. You guys, this was written in 1776. Now, I know it's a lot to take in, but I need you to watch the rest of this movie, to watch the rest of this video, as I discuss with you how MSNBC is now saying the most dangerous people in the entire United States is not the illegal aliens coming in. It's not the invading military-age men. It's Christian nationalists.
It unites all of them because there's many different groups orbiting Trump. But the thing that unites them as Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalists is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from Congress. They don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God. The problem with that is that they are determining men, there it is, men, are determining what God is telling them.
First of all, it was Thomas Jefferson who made that claim. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that we're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. And may I say, everybody, it is exceptionally dangerous when we forget the principle that our rights come from God and not from a government. Because the basic problem is, if they come from the government or Congress or the Supreme Court, they can be taken away by those same people.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I just left church, and on the way home, family sent me this video. But before I show you this video, I'm going to read to you guys from the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America. This was in Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinion of mankind that requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights, I added in the word rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same, abject envies a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Now, you guys know I love this document, and I am a Christian. So does that make me a Christian nationalist? Oh, well, I guess it does, doesn't it? I guess it makes me part of what the left sees as the fringe, dangerous, controversial, militant right. This is also why I told you guys, please stop being around people and promoting the we are sovereign, you can't arrest me, I don't have to pay my taxes. Please stop with all that nonsense, because you're giving the people in the video I'm fixing to show you the legs to come after us, because it is now the left's opinion that your rights, the rights we're given from this document for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, those rights, they aren't given to you by God, as this document says. They're given to you by government. Therefore, if government can give it, government can take it. That is the stance of the fore-leaning left. Just like the stance of the fore-leaning right is, I'm not a citizen of the United States, I'm a sovereign citizen. You guys, we have people that are just as dangerous to us being safe and to our country being safe, just as dangerous as the lady I'm fixing to show you that says that people like you and I that love this document and love Jesus Christ are dangerous. So enjoy this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about what she says, because this is exactly what we're fighting. And here very soon, we might have to abolish the forms to which we have become accustomed. We may actually have to alter or abolish and institute a new government. God bless America.
Hear words like Christian nationalism, like the New Apostolic Reformation. These are groups that you should get very schooled on, because they have a lot of power in Trump's circle. And the one thing that unites all of them, because there's many different groups orbiting Trump, but the thing that unites them as Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalist is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from Congress. They don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God. The problem with that is that they are determining men, it is men, are determining what God is telling them. And in the past, that so-called natural law is, it's a pillar of Catholicism. Catholicism, for instance, has been used for good in social justice campaigns. Right. Martin Luther King evoked it in talking about civil rights. But now you have an extremist element of conservative Christians who say that this applies specifically to issues including abortion, gay marriage, and it's going much further than that.
First of all, I'm not sure what kind of Christian doesn't believe that our rights come from God. Also, this belief that rights come from God and not the king or state is fundamentally American. It's straight from the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. The reason this is so critically important is because if rights come from the king or state, then they can be taken away by them as they see fit. The whole point of America was that so this couldn't happen. And this is what Robert Barron is getting at here.
Hey everybody, it's Bishop Barron. I want to share with you some reflections on a clip I saw. I think it came out last night. Heidi Przybyla from Politico was on MSNBC. It was one of the most disturbing and frankly dangerous things I've ever seen in a political conversation. She's going after what she calls Christian nationalism. This is opening the door to totalitarianism. This is not some kind of religious nationalism or sectarianism. It's one of the sanest principles of our democratic governance, that our rights come from God. Yes, government exists to secure these rights, the Declaration says, not to produce them.